I'm Steve Hollingsworth. I'm the Sales Director here at Covenco, and we're an IBM Gold business partner and specialist in disaster recovery and business continuity. And I'm here today with my colleague Chris, one of our storage tech team, to talk about the IBM FlashSystem range launched in February this year. Last year, we had a very popular unboxing video that dealt with the 5300, its features and its capabilities, but this year we're bringing us the 5600. New range, brought out in February 26, and it brings so much more to the table, more performance, more density, more capacity, AI technology, and the ability to recover at pace from any cyber attack that a business might sustain. We're very excited to dive down into this and get into what makes this array so special. So with that in mind, I'd like to introduce one of my colleagues, Chris Slater, one of our senior storage techs, and I'd like him to explain what makes this such an important launch for IBM and the density and capacity you can get and the performance you can get out of such a small array. So Chris, would you join me?
Hi Steve.
What makes it so special?
Well, there are about 2.6 million reasons that this is better than the 5300. So we've got an increase of 550% to 2.6 million IOPS.
Okay.
The base memory has increased from 64 gig per node to 256 as a base, and the throughput is actually rocketed from 25 gigabit Ethernet to 200 gigabit Ethernet. So we're really packing in the performance to such a small footprint.
Okay, well that's going to be really important when we start to bring the system apart and we took a look at the back of the array and what we have available on the system.
Yep.
But I guess the key to most of our customers, we can deliver that performance in such a small, dense package. Those
Yes.
IOs are incredible, 2.6 million IOs. What kind of company's likely to need that kind of throughput in most mid-range organizations? So we're talking enterprise capability in a very small array here. And of course, the 5600 is part of the range. We have the bigger 7600s,
Yep.
99,000 range that can also deliver on an even bigger footprint, more capacity, even bigger performance. But if I look at this one right now, it's incredible to think that we could put 2.4 petabytes into that single array. So what I think we'd like to do now, Chris, please, if you don't mind, is I'd like to dissect this bit. I'd like to take it apart. We'd like to see what makes this 5600 so special, how it delivers that density, that footprint, the connectivity options at the back, and what drives the performance redundancy and what makes it so special. So
Excellent.
if we can get inside this machine, let's start that now.
Let's do it.
We have one of the two node canisters here on the IBM FS5600. Obviously the two node canisters give the system its redundancy and power the solution, giving it enterprise class capabilities. So let's talk through how this canister gives the flexibility to customers from a connectivity perspective.
So the rear here, we've got the ability to install two HBAs. This one can have 64 gig fiber channel adapter in it, and this one can go up to 100 gig Ethernet adapter using SFP+.
So this one at the moment though, I think this is the 32 gig.
Correct.
And this might only be a 25 gig. And of course we've got the onboard ports. Those onboard ports are provided to give that base connectivity as well.
Yep.
Then as we move backwards through the canister, we have the cache. So if this is one node, then that'll be 128 gig, Chris, is that correct?
That's correct, delivered via two 64 gig DIMMs. And
the processor obviously that delivers the performance is in the middle there. And then as we move further back, this is the battery array, if I remember correctly.
That's correct,
Chris.
the cache battery.
So that cache battery is what supports the system if there is a power supply failure and allows it to destage.
100%, yep. So as part of the redundant configuration of the system, with two node canisters, we've got two redundant power supplies as well. They pop out nicely. They can be replaced and hot swappable. Let's not kid ourselves. Fans aren't normally the most exciting part of these builds, but they do form a very important function. Because of the density and performance of the FlashCore modules, we need supreme cooling. These fans assist with that.
So we now come to the important end of the FlashSystem 5600, and this is where the FlashCore modules themselves sit. So this is a FlashCore Module 5 system. The system itself, the 5600, has 15 slots, but only 12 are in use. And Chris is now removing the actual FlashCore module. These FCM5s come in 6.6, 13.2, 26.4 and 52.8 terabyte capacities in such a small form factor. Unbelievably, on the FlashSystem 9600, the biggest of the range, it's 105 terabytes in one of those modules. Bear in mind that each module could have deduplication and could have a 4:1 compression deduplication ratio, giving you up to 400 terabytes in one of those largest modules. It's incredible to believe. So one of the major differences between this 5600 and the 5300 that we unboxed this time last year, the 5600 builds on that ability to protect against a cyber ransom incident. So the 5300 had the ability to warn you if it saw increased entropy and it was looking at something it thought might be a virus attack. But the 5600 has taken that one stage further. So the 5300 will warn you, and you'd need to have certain external elements to be able to run an immediate safeguarded copy. But the 5600 has changed this, because this can be delivered inside the system at these later code levels. As soon as it sees something it doesn't like, it can instantly take that safeguarded copy that we've used many times before. And then it can warn you that it's something that it doesn't like. But the 5600 has already taken, and the whole FlashCore range for that matter, has already taken that snapshot.
It brings that from the cloud into your data center, those abilities.
And that immediacy, that ability to see something it doesn't like, to take a snapshot that's safeguarded, and then tell you you might want to look at something. You could ignore that snapshot. It doesn't mean you have to use it. That system then does that almost immediately and intrinsically inside it. So
that's the step change.
I know you're going to run a video on how that works, but this is amazing.
Absolutely agree.
You mentioned the AI capabilities of the system. I know you're going to be doing a separate video on that. But one of the things I really like about the AI in this system, we hear so much about AI these days, everything has to be AI. But this is very much a human in the loop AI. The system can look at improvements, enhancements, do certain tasks, but it's always asking for the human's approval to do that.
Absolutely, correct. That's what we found utilising AI in these arrays, that it will ask you permission for that session, or you will allow it completely for the task you're doing. It gives you that human in the loop, that control over what it's doing. It's also important to note that it doesn't do anything destructive. So all of the capabilities of the AI are very focused around administrative, creative tasks, not destructive tasks.
Although I would point out, we've already just said that the system is more than capable of taking a snap copy. If it thinks there is something that it's unhappy with, it will do that instantaneously, but that's non-destructive, and you can roll that back. So it's capable of taking that snapshot. But anything else, so if you ask the storage array, for example, to present storage, I believe you can do that through almost a chatbot style, natural language. And then when you ask it, it will tell you what it would do, how it would present it, but gives you the final chance to decide if it's inside your business policies, your guardrails and everything else.
Absolutely. Very much like any of the large language models we use at the moment, it gives you its kind of thought, how it's going to break that down, make some recommendations, ask you some questions back if it doesn't have the information, and you get to confirm and approve its administration in the array.
So it's going to make administration for businesses more simple. It's going to make businesses more efficient. It's going to make its own recommendations. You don't have to take those recommendations. And then when you couple that with the performance we've already talked about, and you look at that security feature set that's built into the entire IBM storage range. And by the way, when we mention that it's available on the 5600, it goes without saying, because it's the same code level, 7600, the 9600, and some of the early arrays, the 53s, the 73s, with some of the code updates, some of this functionality is going to be available. You just won't have 2.6 million IOPS and that 2.4 petabytes of storage availability. But it really is a very, very compelling argument as a storage array. Thank you very much, Chris. Really helpful to deconstruct the 5600 the way you have, and we hope this has been an informative video. I mean, genuinely, we cannot hope to do the IBM FlashSystems justice in a very short video. Their capabilities is far and beyond what we can do in just a few minutes. But if you want to get in touch, we'll be more than happy to help arrange demonstrations, and look out please for Chris's videos. Those videos are going to be really helpful around the AI capabilities and what we can deliver with the safeguarded copy and the automation for cyber recovery. So they're going to come in soon, Chris.
Great, thank you, Steve. Well, yeah, we've got the opportunity to do proof of concept for our customers. So if you are interested, please do get in contact. We take a proof of concept unit, we deploy it end to end into your environment, and we'll show you the true metal of the system and do it justice.
Thank you. Well, absolutely do take Chris up on that opportunity. We'd be happy to provide demonstration units if you're interested in pricing. If you just want to talk about the flash systems and how they might help your business, or any of the features and functions we talked about today, please get in touch. contact Covenco. We'll be happy to help.